Hey guys, this is Charlie with Definitive Entertainment. Today I want to talk to you guys about buses and auxiliary tracks. So we're just going to go over why we use them, why you should probably be using them, and we're going to give you a few quick tips on how to use them. So let's quickly go over why people use auxiliary tracks and why they use buses. So the difference between using a bus and, say, just duplicating the track and duplicating what's on it like so, is that you're sending a portion of the volume over to the bus. In other words, you can use an effect on a bus and it won't apply to the full volume of the track. You can send, roughly 20% of your volume over to reverb. You could send 30% of your volume over to a compressor, and so on and so forth. One way I like to use buses is if I'm going to be doubling a track for the chorus. I don't want that second track that's beefing up the chorus to sound exactly like the first track. I'll create that second track and I'll send some of the volume over to a bus, and I'll have it apply only to a certain section that I'll set with the equalizer. And then I can add something like an exciter on top and make that top section really pop out. So the end result is a chorus that has a lot more harmonics on the high end and makes it sound really sharp and full. Okay, so I've got my Steinway grand piano track here, and I just recorded a couple minutes of audio just so we kind of have something to work with. And we're immediately going to go to the mixer view. I use these buttons to hide the output and the master tracks just so there's a little bit less clutter. So here's our Steinway track. And then we've got bus 2, which corresponds with this send, and bus 3, which obviously corresponds with this send. And if you ever want to create a brand new bus, you just go here, and you can make up to 64 buses, I believe, which is a little crazy, but depending on the size of your recording, you never know. So when you create a software instrument track, it's going to give you 1 or 2 buses automatically, and these are both reverbs. So let's just go into the Space Designer here. You can see it's a 3.89 second reverb. And if we solo the track, we can hear just what the track is sending to this bus. And if we go over here to the send section, bus 2, we can adjust how much volume our track is sending over. Let's take off the solo. So this is the track and all the buses combined. And this is just what we're sending. It's going through bus 2 and using these effects. So we can do the same with bus 3 and just solo that. It's a slightly different reverb, but roughly the same idea. So that's how buses work. Okay, so now let's try creating our own buses. I'm going to click here, go up to Edit, Delete. So now we've got a track with no buses, no auxiliary tracks. We're going to go to Sends, Bus, and create a brand new bus 1. Now if you go up to the settings up here, there are a multitude of presets to choose from. I also have legacy presets from my GarageBand and other Logics. And really there's just hundreds to choose from. So here we're going to go for something for the piano, obviously. So I'm going to go to reverb, medium spaces. Let's go with a hall reverb. Small hall. So it's going to open up the space designer, it's going to open up the channel EQ, and I recommend starting with a preset, even if you change it and tweak it, which I also would recommend afterwards. The preset gives you a good starting point. So let's just go ahead and solo it, turn up the volume a little bit, and hear what it sounds like by itself. So it's actually not bad. You could also mute the bus so you can hear what it sounds like without it. It won't be a huge profound difference, which is kind of the point. It'll be very subtle, and so you can go from muting it or go from 0 volume and slowly work it in up to taste. So let's add another auxiliary track. We'll go to bus 2, and this time let's set it for compression. Let's try compressed spread. I don't actually want the spreader, but I do want the compression. So the two buses together sound like this. And if we take them out of the equation, it's just a little less thick, it's a little less full. Let's add an exciter on here. We're not going to go crazy with it, but let's just give it a little oomph. So overall it creates a much bigger, thicker sound, and we've only got one track here on the main page. So we just created one bus for reverb and a little bit of EQ, and a second bus for compression and an exciter. And we just added some harmonics to a certain frequency and above. Not too crazy, just 13.5%. I usually don't have it set much higher than that. Yeah, and the process is the same, whether it's a real instrument, software instrument, vocals. You can see there's tons of presets to start with. If you go to Legacy, there's a complete section for vocals. It has male and female basic vocals, which kind of EQ you closer to your range, whether you're a male or female vocalist, and any variety of live or software instruments you can find a preset to start with. That's pretty much everything we're going over today. If you guys have anything you want covered, go ahead and let me know down in the comments section. And I would appreciate it if you liked and subscribed if you want any more content in the future. I will see you guys later. Thank you.